I'm Jordan Jenga, host of The Auto Show. Each show will talk about what's new in the industry and what's going on in the local automotive landscape. We'll have interviews with the area dealers and experts and bring you presentations and reviews on some of the latest cars, trucks, and SUVs. First, we have Rolls-Royce, who plans to release their first EV. They're calling it the Spectre. What we know so far is it's a 4-seat fastback coupe that comes equipped with a dual-motor electric powertrain that provides 577 horsepower and 666 pound-feet of torque, which should get the Rolls up to 60 miles an hour in a claimed 4.4 seconds. It weighs in at a hefty 6,500 pounds, it's almost 18 feet long and 7 feet wide, so it's quite the sizable machine. Rolls-Royce says the first cars will reach customers in late 2023. The styling is unmistakable Rolls-Royce with an enormous signature grille and squared-off front-end design. The 116-year-old automaker claims that it is the most aerodynamic Rolls ever. I can't wait to see one of these in the flesh. Continuing with EV news, GMC plans to roll out an all-new GMC Sierra EV in 2024. GMC claims it will have 754 horsepower and an estimated 400 miles of range. And the Edition 1, like this one on the screen, will be coming out to almost $109,000. Yikes. The Edition 1 will only be available as a crew cab with all-wheel drive, and GMC claims it'll do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. Think of it as a more utility-friendly, less extreme version of the electric Hummer on which it's loosely based. That has 1,000 horsepower and weighs almost 10,000 pounds. The Sierra EV and its brother, the Silverado EV, will come with a 200 kilowatt battery pack under the floor and an 800 volt electrical architecture, which has charging capability of up to 350 kilowatts. What that means to us mere mortals is that it can add 100 miles of range theoretically in about 10 minutes. Future models will be available with different ranges, tow ratings, and cab configurations. The truck will also be able to use General Motors Super Cruise hands-free driving system while towing, which is pretty neat. The interior is obviously updated and comes with a 16.8-inch display that can be reconfigured, and good news, there's a physical volume knob as well as toggle switches for different functions. Because as far as I'm concerned, using a screen for everything is a total pain. Good on GMC. As exciting as new technology is, let's get back to internal combustion. The new Z06 is here, and it's here with a bang. It has a naturally aspirated, hand-built 5.5-liter flat plane V8 that screams to 60 in 2.6 seconds. Easy for me to say. And good news, it only starts at $109,000. Now I know that number might sound a little bit crazy, but it's the performance bargain of a century as far as I'm concerned. The gem in the Corvette is the 5.5-liter flat plane V8, which revs to 8,500 RPM and produces 670 horsepower. It's mated to an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic gearbox and rear-wheel drive only. A blast through the quarter mile takes only 10.5 seconds at over 130 miles per hour. And it's not only a performer, it comes with plenty of features, including an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and a Wi-Fi hotspot. It also offers 2 separate Bose stereo systems, one with 10 speakers and one with 14. It's a lot of speakers in such a small space if you ask me, but I'm sure it sounds great. I am really looking forward to seeing one of these, and more importantly, hearing one of these on the road. Porsche recently announced a new variant of the 992 911 model with the Carrera T. Think of it as a base engine 911 with lots of Porsche performance goodies for a not so eye-watering price. The T is a rear-wheel drive 911 with a manual transmission that has a rear seat delete, and it comes with the base 911's turbo engine. The Carrera T also has thinner glass, a smaller battery, and that all-important 7-speed manual transmission. It claims to be 100 pounds lighter than the regular Carrera, and that regular base Carrera is actually only offered with an 8-speed PDK, although the PDK can be added to the T as a no-charge option. The 3-liter twin-turbo flat 6 makes 379 horsepower and 331 pound-feet of torque. You can get from 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds with the manual, or 3.8 seconds with the PDK. Both actually have the identical top speed of 181 miles per hour. Compared with the regular Carrera, the T has a mechanical limited slip differential and Porsche's active suspension management with specifically tuned dampers. It wears a set of gray 20-inch wheels in the front and 21-inch in the rear. The front's wearing a 245 section tire and the rear's at a nice wide 305. This enthusiast spec 911 hits showrooms spring of next year, and I really hope I get to drive one. Sticking with Porsche, I have exciting news from the Nürburgring. The new 992 GT3 RS just lapped the famous German racetrack faster than the old Porsche GT2 RS at a mere 6 minutes and 44.8 seconds. To put that in perspective, the GT2 RS is pretty much a rear-wheel drive 911 turbo with all the GT3 goodies. The new GT3 RS has a glorious naturally aspirated engine, which makes the feat all that more impressive due to its crazy engineering and unbelievable downforce. Now, for those of you who don't know about the Nürburgring, it's considered to be the world's most dangerous and demanding road course, which got its nickname the Green Hell. In Germany's Eifel Mountains, it's a 12.9-mile circuit with over 70 corners and most of them very high speed. It also gains and loses about 1,000 feet of elevation over the lap. If you have a chance to hop on YouTube, check out the GT3 RS with Porsche's driver Jörg Bergmeister behind the wheel. It's really incredible. To round out the news, we have Cadillac's new flagship sedan, the Celestiq. The Celestiq has a striking presence and a sweeping fastback roofline. The cabin, in my opinion, is arguably the party piece. With a 55-inch wide digital dashboard, that's right, 55 inches, and 4 leather bucket seats. The Celestiq assembly line will be manned by a small team of craft people who will hand build each car to order, much like a Rolls-Royce. And for a starting price of $300,000, one would hope so. Each one will come with a dual-motor, all-wheel drive electric powertrain, which Cadillac estimates will make around 600 horsepower and should be able to get the Caddy up to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds. Its adaptive air suspension is standard, and rear-wheel steering is a feature that will help the super-long sedan maneuver around tight spaces. The Cadillac has about a 300-mile range, and they claim can charge up to 78 miles in just about 10 minutes. And did I mention the 55-inch infotainment screen spanning the entire width of the car's dashboard? It's pretty insane. Lastly, the Celestiq boasts a 38-speaker AKG studio reference stereo with 3D surround. Really looking forward to seeing one of these in person to see what I think of that fastback roofline. For now, I think it's pretty neat. And that concludes this week's news.
Check out the stylish lines.
Very nice.
Spacious interior.
This is amazing technology.
Right? And how about all this seating?
Introducing the newly redesigned Toyota of Dartmouth. Take us for a test drive today.
Think maybe we could drive outside now?
Yeah. Let's grab a cup of coffee first. Pull up over there.
The Anchor Auto Group has served and been involved with the local community for over 35 years. We also make a difference by putting you first. Check out our reviews from our ever-expanding family of Anchor customers. From our service team to our state-of-the-art facility, you'll receive 5-star treatment. During the current inventory shortage, we've worked day and night to ensure we have the best assortment of new and pre-owned vehicles in New England. We hear this every day. Wow, there's no shortage here, and you have more vehicles than any other dealers. Want to find your next vehicle quickly? Then get to Anchor Subaru Nissan on Route 146 in North Smithfield or online at anchorautogroup.com.
Priority Premium is New England's destination for exceptional Highline pre-owned automobiles. Our collection is hand-picked by New England's top automobile experts. With over 100 years of overall experience working with the world's finest brands, we find the best examples of well-maintained, low-mileage, luxury, and exotic vehicles for our inventory. Just go to PriorityPremium.com where you'll see our current selection. Stop dreaming, start driving. Priority Premium.
If you're shopping for a new car this month, we know it can be quite the process. So we put together a list of the best car, truck, and SUV deals in the Rhode Island and Southeastern Massachusetts area. We're calling this segment Best Buys. To start off, we have the 2023 Subaru Ascent Premium. It comes with 8-passenger seating, a 4-cylinder turbo engine, and Subaru's famous all-wheel drive system. You can get that at Anchor Subaru right now with an MSRP of $39,209 for a $1,000 discount, bringing it down to $38,209. Next up is the 2023 Kia Niro Hybrid. It gets 53 miles per gallon, and you can lease it at $359 a month for 36 months at Kia of Attleboro. It comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and don't forget Kia is ranked #1 by J.D. Power in vehicle dependability. If If you're looking for an affordable entry-level car, Kia's got you covered with the 2023 Kia Forte LXS. It still comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, boasts up to 39 miles per gallon highway, 16-inch alloy wheels, and 60/40 folding rear seats. And you can lease that at just $199 a month for 24 months at Kia of Attleboro. To start off with Hyundai, we have the 2023 Hyundai Tucson SEL all-wheel drive. Now that comes with an 8-speed automatic transmission, 28 mpg highway, 187 horsepower, and LED headlights. You can get that for $31,560. Next up is the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe SEL. It has a touchscreen with navigation, heated seats, wireless charging, and that gets 25 mpg highway. And it also comes with highway drive assist. It's a great deal at $35,740. Last in our Hyundai lineup is the Hyundai Kona SEL. 33 miles per gallon highway, 17-inch alloy wheels, push-button start, and Sirius satellite radio, and that comes in at $26,935. If you're looking for a 2023 Nissan Rogue, you're going to want to go over to Anchor Nissan. They're offering the Rogue SUV all-wheel drive at $32,225. Comes with a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine, 35 miles per gallon highway, and an 8-inch color touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you're looking for something a little bit bigger, consider the 2023 Nissan Murano SL all-wheel drive. They're selling them at Anchor for $46,265, and they have Nissan's trusty 3.5-liter V6. They come with leather seats, heated and leather-wrapped steering wheel, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and 20-inch alloy wheels. If you need a little more off-road capability, or the family's growing, or you just need more space, look at the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder SV 4-wheel drive. Anchor's offering it at $41,870, and it comes with a myriad of features. You get intelligent 4-wheel drive with terrain mode selector, tri-zone automatic temperature control, which is great for kids or dogs, or both, remote start, and intelligent cruise control, which would be great on those long trips. If you need a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram, you're going to want to go over to Elmwood in East Providence. If you're looking for a Ram truck, they've got a great deal. 2022 Ram 1500 4x4 with the crew cab. It's got a 5'7" bed, 3.6-liter Pentastar V6, and an 8-speed automatic transmission, and you can lease that for $399 a month. Also at Elmwood, they're offering a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Sport S for $439 a month on a lease. Now this has the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6, 8-speed automatic transmission, Jeep's legendary 4-wheel drive performance, and also the doors are removable. If you like a nice luxurious SUV, also look at the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. It's got an 8-speed automatic transmission, again Jeep's wonderful 4-wheel drive system, voice-activated audio control, and it can also tow about 6,200 pounds. You can get all that for $439 a month at Elmwood CDJR. Keeping with the luxury theme, if you're looking for something a little bit bigger than a Grand Cherokee, look no further than the 2022 Wagoneer Series 3. They're offering this $5,000 off sticker in this current car climate at $75,999 delivered. This vehicle has a 10-inch touchscreen with navigation, a fully digital instrument cluster, quadrilift air suspension for a smooth ride, and the legendary 5.7-liter Hemi with 392 horsepower. If you're looking for a small luxury sedan, consider the 2022 Mercedes-Benz C300. It was just redesigned for 2022, has Mercedes-Benz 4MATIC 4-wheel drive, 255 horsepower, more importantly 295 pound-feet of torque, a 9-speed automatic transmission, a very trick 64-color ambient interior lighting, blind spot monitoring, and power folding side mirrors. You can get this vehicle for $589 a month for 36 months at Viti Mercedes Benz in Tiverton. Cerrone Chevrolet has plenty of Silverados in stock, and this is one of them. A 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew Cab. It has the short box and 4-wheel drive. It's an LT model with the 1LT package, and that's offered at $56,260. Next up, we have a classic Chevrolet work truck, a 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 3500 HD. It's a regular cab with a long 8-foot box, 4-wheel drive, and that comes in at $43,571. Last but not least, we have the 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. This one's a crew cab with a short box and 4-wheel drive, and it is the LTZ, so it is the fanciest of the Silverado lineup. And you can get that at Cerrone for $62,885.
At Elmwood, we have cars, and during Adventure Days, you can plan your adventure in a new Jeep Gladiator Sport S or Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4 and save. Lease a new 2022 Jeep Gladiator Sport S or a 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4 for only $439 a month. Many cars are in stock and ready to go. Visit ElmwoodCDJR.com and look for specials to see special pricing on ordered vehicles, factory-approved discounts, and rebates. Elmwood Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 44 in East Providence, ElmwoodCDJR.com.
There will come a time when our lives will be back to normal. In the meantime, we're doing everything we can to keep our employees, our customers, and the community safe. We're keeping our service departments open because more than ever, you need reliable transportation. And our sales departments are open by appointment. We're doing new car deliveries right to your door. And we're doing all of this because, as always, our top priority is you.
Now for one of my favorite segments, Priority Premium. We're going to check out some cool cars. To start off, we have this beautiful 2019 Audi Q8 Prestige. Now this is the 3.0 liter model. It's got 335 horsepower and 369 foot-pounds of torque, 8-speed automatic transmission, and wouldn't you know it, the underpinnings of this vehicle are what the Lamborghini Urus is based on. And personally, I like these better. I think they look better. Red brake calipers. It's got the night pack. It's what I would call Jordan spec. I like the black on black with the cool wheels. This is a great vehicle. This one's only $67,900 and only has 28,000 miles. Give it a look. All right, for our first BMW, we have this 2019 7 Series. It's a 750i X-Drive, which means it's all-wheel drive. 445 horsepower, so you got plenty of shove. It's obviously a competitor to the Mercedes-Benz S Class, but this one's offered at $49,900, and this had an original MSRP over $100,000. This one has 33,000 miles. It's black over black, which of course I love, as I mentioned. Gives you all the creature comforts of a large sedan, and obviously with the long wheelbase, has a great ride. Signature BMW headlights, looks great, or as I like to say, gives great rear view mirror. And because it's a BMW, it has wonderful handling. If you're looking for something a little more sporty, consider this 2020 BMW 840i X-Drive. X-Drive again, all-wheel drive, and the 40 instead of the 50, it's got the turbocharged 6-cylinder engine. Obviously very sporty design, fastback roofline. I like the white. This particular one has 9,000 miles on it, and with 4 seats, you can bring your friends. This one's down at Priority Premium and is only $74,900. Take a look. If you're looking for the ultimate in luxury, you're definitely going to have to look at this 2008 Bentley convertible. It has an enormous V8 engine, it's an enormous car, and it has an enormous convertible top. Everything about this car is enormous. It has an enormous grille, but you wouldn't know it by driving it. I've ridden in a couple of these, believe it or not, and they really drive like you think a Bentley would. This particular one only has 19,000 miles on it, all the way from 2008, and it's being offered at $119,900. And one cool fact, Jean-Claude Van Damme had one. Continuing with the Bentley theme, we have this absolutely gorgeous 2017 Continental GT V8 convertible. The color combination on this is stunning. I saw this car in person, it's sitting in the showroom, it's really beautiful. And I like these wheels in particular, I think they look great on this car. It has a saddle interior, and this one only has 17,000 miles. It's being offered $154,900. It's definitely worth taking a look at. And don't forget, even though it's the V8, not the V12, still does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Now for something completely different. We have this 2020 Challenger RT Scat Pack, and it comes with the 6.4 liter Hemi, 485 horsepower, and this particular one has the 8-speed automatic transmission. Again, great spec on this car, black, very imposing front end, love the hood scoop. If you've ever seen one of these cars from the front, the headlights look totally menacing and they make a great sound. It's a real classic muscle car. This particular one only has 27,000 miles and is offered at $41,900. Now for one of my personal favorites. This is a 2016 Jaguar F-Type, and this is the R model, so it has the supercharged V8 engine with over 500 horsepower. Now this one has all-wheel drive, which means you can actually put the power to the ground. I think this has one of the most handsome body styles of any car currently on the market. And this one again, if you can see a theme going here, black, and I like the optional yellow brake calipers. If you've ever heard one of these, you won't forget it. It's got an amazing sound, and this one's only offered at $65,900 and only has 21,000 miles. And the best part is, it's a Jag. Now for us here in New England, you might need something a little more capable for year-round. And nothing could be better than a Land Rover Range Rover. This one's a 2015. It's the Autobiography, which is their highest trim, and it is the long wheelbase, which gives you additional space in the rear of the vehicle. I like this one in particular because I love the blue on tan, and I really like the wheels on this one. The Range Rover comes with a lot of different wheel options, but these just happen to be my favorite. This one has 58,000 miles and is offered at $57,900. If you want an unbelievably capable machine, the 911 Turbo kind of does it all. It has effortless performance, and you can see it's a turbo by these inlets back here for the engine, and these cars can do everything. This one being a convertible, you can use it in the summertime. They're all-wheel drive, so you can use it in the winter if you're nuts like I am, and they're just incredibly fast. This one has the PDK transmission. 0 to 60 on these is like low 3-second range. If you've ever driven one or ridden in one, it's really mind-blowing, the performance and how effortlessly the car gains speed. So if you like something that's a little understated but yet incredibly capable, you're gonna have to check out this 08 911 Turbo. This one in particular has 27,000 miles and is offered at $84,900. Compared to the 911, if you'd like to stand out a little bit, take a look at this 2018 Mercedes-Benz E400 Cabriolet. This has Designo diamond white paint and a Designo interior, which just means it's an upgraded interior from Mercedes with special Napa leather. It's really interesting. This one has the turbocharged 6-cylinder engine, which has plenty of power, and it has 35,000 miles. It's being offered at $49,900, and don't forget, it's got this really interesting red top. Check it out. Last but certainly not least is this 2017 S550 4MATIC sedan. 4MATIC means it's all-wheel drive, and the 550 is the twin-turbo V8 from Mercedes-Benz. This one has the optional AMG wheels, and the S Class really is the world standard when it comes to luxury sedans. What's special about this one in particular is that even though it's a 2017, it only has 12,000 original miles, and it's offered at $63,900. Personally, if I had to drive something every day in these terrible New England roads and the weather all year round, I'd drive an S Class. You can see all these fabulous cars at Priority Premium on West Main Road, Middletown.
Big banks sure do love technology, but not always for the right reasons. We love technology too, but we use it to make your life easier, not ours. Which is why we have Big Bank Tech without the big bank. It's what happens when your customers are your owners, and your owners are your customers. Navigant Credit Union.
New Kias are hard to find, but Kia of Attleboro has 55 2023 Kia Fortes available and special leasing at $199 per month. So reserve yours now. The 23 Kia Forte LXS gets 31 city MPG, 41 highway MPG, and includes Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Kia's DriveWise Assist technology, Bluetooth, keyless entry, and much more, all standard. And at Kia of Attleboro, get double the factory warranty.
Next up, we're going to be talking about the 2023 Subaru Outback and the 2023 Subaru Crosstrek and the differences between the two. I like doing comparisons because a lot of times when you go into a dealership, especially if you're shopping a lot of different cars or even within the same car brand, there can be a lot of similarities and a couple of differences that are good to know about. So the Crosstrek and the Outback have a lot of similarities, but there are some differences as well you might need to know. The Crosstrek, which is the smaller of the two, is more like a small SUV, whereas the Outback is a little bit more like a wagon and a mid-sized crossover. The Outback has a slightly longer wheelbase, which will lend to a slightly smoother ride. It also boasts a little bit more interior volume. Both of these vehicles are top safety picks plus by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, and both vehicles come with full-time symmetrical all-wheel drive, a Subaru staple. Both vehicles have 8.7 inches of ground clearance and 4-cylinder engines. However, the engines do have a few differences. The Crosstrek, which is a little bit smaller, comes standard with a 2-liter, 152 horsepower 4-cylinder engine. Now that has a CVT transmission and gets about 27 to 33 miles per gallon, 27 city, 33 highway. The Outback standard engine is a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, but it has 182 horsepower, so it's a half a liter bigger. But because of the CVT transmission, it gets 26 miles to the gallon city and 33 highway, only losing 1 to the smaller Crosstrek. Both the Outback and the Crosstrek have optional engines as well. In the Outback, you have an optional 2.4-liter turbocharged engine that comes with 260 horsepower, and that gets 22 miles per gallon city and 29 highway. The optional engine in the Crosstrek is a 2.5-liter unit with 182 horsepower, and that gets you 27 miles per gallon city and 34 highway. Speaking of engines, if you're going to be towing, the Outback might be a better choice, as the standard Outback has a 2,700-pound towing capacity, and if you opt for the turbo engine, the Outback can tow up to 3,500 pounds, whereas the Crosstrek can tow 1,500 pounds. As I mentioned earlier, the Outback is a slightly bigger vehicle, and with the seats down, it has a cavernous 75 cubic feet of cargo space, which is fantastic. And the Crosstrek has 55.3 cubic feet of cargo space with the seats down. Now on the Outback, there is a power tailgate option that is not available on the Crosstrek. Now when comparing the Crosstrek and Outback, it might be interesting to note that a similarly optioned Outback is about an average of $4,000 more than its smaller brother, the Crosstrek. So if you're looking for something a little more affordable with a hybrid option that also can go off-road and carry your bikes and kayaks and what have you, the Crosstrek is a great option. But if you're looking for something with a little more power to tow something maybe a little heavier than a utility trailer, maybe something like a small boat or a very small camper, and you want to have a little bit of a plusher ride and a couple more features, the Outback might be the vehicle for you. To see either the 2023 Crosstrek or the 2023 Outback, go to Anchor Subaru on Route 146 in North Smithfield or online at anchorsubaru.com.
Welcome. Can I help you find anything?
Yes. We're looking for something spacious.
Comfortable.
With the latest technology.
I think I've got just what you're looking for. Follow me. Welcome to the newly redesigned Toyota of Dartmouth. This puppy was made for you.
The new Toyota of Dartmouth. It's just what you've been looking for.
Please don't do that.
As some of you may know, Mercedes-Benz came out with the new Mercedes C300, or just the C Class in general. C Sedan is the first one to be released, and we're here today with Sean to kind of give us a run-through of all of the updates. Sean's from Viti Mercedes Benz in Tiverton. Sean?
Thanks, Jordan, for having me today. And yeah, we're excited about the new 2022 C300. It's the 5th generation of the C300. The C300 originally came out in 1993. Was known as their entry-level sedan for Mercedes-Benz. They do have a couple models that are their entry-level vehicles now. So I guess you could say the C300's kind of grown up a little bit. You can see they've made it into a young person's car. It has a nice sporty look to it. And when we go into the vehicle further and we look into the technology, you'll see the technology is probably one of the best, has the best technology in the automotive industry. You can see it has a nice sporty back with the LED taillights and the fog dual exhaust there. Something that really pops out is you have the 11.9-inch touchscreen media screen here, which is right in the front. Also, if you see here, you have your thumbprint ID. So what you can do is you can set up where, it's tough to see there, but you can actually put your fingerprint that will only let you get into the certain settings of the vehicle. You can have your own personal settings set up, and then you can use your fingerprint to get into those settings.
Absolutely. I think it's a really smart looking interior, and if you want to just go to the night mode, you can see the ambient light in action.
Wow, that's pretty. That's a standard feature with the Mercedes-Benz C300 is the 64 ambient lighting. That's, you know, they've had this for a few years now with other models, and it's always everybody's favorite feature. At night, you can change the different colors. There's 64 colors that you can change, but it's a nice, soothing, and also very luxurious premium feel that it gives. One of the big things for the 2022 C300 is they've added the 48-volt electric hybrid engine, so it's considered a mild hybrid engine, which, you know, some of the advantages of that is fuel economy. And the other nice feature is that you have different driving modes that you can put the car into. You can put it into comfort, which is the most popular. You can put it into econ mode, so the vehicle drives more economically. Then you have sport, and you have sport plus.
Great. Sean, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Priority Premium is New England's destination for exceptional pre-owned automobiles. Our collection is hand-picked by New England's top luxury and exotic automobile experts. With over 100 years of overall experience working with the world's finest motor cars. We currently have over a dozen pre-owned Porsches, plus models from Audi, Bentley, BMW, Jaguar, Land Rover, and Mercedes-Benz. See our current selection online at PriorityPremium.com.
Welcome. Can I help you find anything?
Yes, we're looking for something spacious.
Comfortable.
With the latest technology.
I think I've got just what you're looking for. Follow me. Welcome to the newly redesigned Toyota of Dartmouth. This puppy was made for you.
The new Toyota of Dartmouth. It's just what you've been looking for.
Please don't do that.
At Elmwood, we have trucks. And during Ram Power Days, you can drive a Ram 1500 4x4 Crew Cab and save. That's right. Get the power of a 2022 Ram 1500 4x4 Crew Cab when you lease for only $399 a month. There's a great selection in stock with more arriving daily. Visit ElmwoodCDJR.com and look for specials to see special pricing on ordered vehicles, factory-approved discounts, and rebates. Elmwood, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Route 44 in East Providence, ElmwoodCDJR.com.
If you drive a Toyota and you're in an accident, it's important that you bring your car to a Toyota Certified Collision Center. It's important for everyone to understand not all collision shops are created equal. The public should be aware that only 10% of repair shops out there achieve any certification at all. Toyota's stringent certification program is widely recognized as having the highest standards in the industry. Some of the training required by Toyota certification program is very stringent. They come in and they expect us to do training and classes on the latest technology and all of the latest vehicles that are out there. Part of being in the Toyota Certified Collision Center is parts and proper installation of those parts. If the Toyota recommended procedure on a factory part, that's the part we're going to put in, whether the insurance company is going to pay for that part or not. In the Toyota Certified Collision Center, when you're repairing a Toyota car and it's a safety-related item, oftentimes there may be aftermarket parts that are written to the insurance estimate. At Toyota Dartmouth, we'll price match most of those parts when we can. Today's vehicles use advanced materials and safety features, but crumple zones, airbags, safety sensors, electronics, computers. Don't even get me going on the complexity of vehicles like the Toyota Prius Hybrid. Repairing these vehicles properly after a collision make that mandates up-to-date training. As a Toyota certified shop, we require each of our technicians involved with collision repair to take ongoing training every year. This includes classrooms on new vehicle technologies and the latest factory recommended repair procedures. For instance, to remove and repair a rear bumper on a 2018 Camry is a 17-page procedure that a factory-trained technician will use to do the repair correctly. Inside that bumper may be cameras, blind spot monitors, sensors. So it's important that that procedure be done by the recommended factory procedure. Oftentimes with these vehicles, there's all types of new advanced materials in their construction. Whether it's frame measuring equipment, welders specific for aluminum or high-strength steels, or any other specialized tools, we have it all here. Let me tell you a little bit about our refinish process. Once your bodywork is done, it's ready for paint. We bring it into the other side, prep it all off, it goes into the booth. Now we have 3 size booths, which are all downdraft, state-of-the-art booths. It circulates the air around and around, but nothing goes through the stack to the top. That's just for the fresh air to come in. A lot of people don't understand that waterborne paint doesn't have a lot of smell. You come into our shop, there's a smell. Very environmental friendly. It's easy to put on, and it gives you the factory finish that you would expect when you take delivery of your vehicle. Being in an accident is stressful, even if nobody gets hurt. At Toyota Dartmouth, we see this every day. We know how to get through it. We work with all the insurance companies. We're experts at navigating the insurance claim process. We also will keep you informed through text, email, phone calls. Any which way you want to be contacted, we'll keep you up to date with repair status. You know, a vehicle's a big investment. People are concerned about it, and they just want to know, when are they going to get it back, and is it going to be good, and is it going to be safe? We'll get you back as soon as we can, as fast as we can. Matter of fact, if you look at some of the industry metrics from the insurance company who measure these type of indicators, we're consistently 2 days faster than the average shop in our peer group. We are the only Toyota certified shop from Cape Cod all the way down to the Massachusetts border. Toyota Dartmouth is proud to be one of those select few.
New Kias are hard to find right now, but Kia of Attleboro has 32 2023 Kia Niro hybrids coming in the next 32 days, so reserve yours now. The 23 Kia Niro hybrid gets an unbelievable 49 to 53 miles per gallon. And only at Kia of Attleboro, you can get the new Niro hybrid for just $359 per month. And at Kia of Attleboro, get double the factory warranty. Exit 2B off 95 South, Attleboro, Mass.
Hey Connecticut, did you know that Kia of Groton is under new ownership? Our brand new team is here to make you our #1 priority. We offer high trade-in values, double the factory warranty, exceptional military offers, and have plenty of Kias for you to choose from.
And for this month only, lease the 2023 Soul LX for only $199 a month.
Come see me, Jasmine, and the entire Kia of Groton team here today. You'll be glad you did.
We're here today with Brian Benoit, Vice President of the Anchor Auto Group. Brian, thanks for having us here today.
Thanks for having me.
So Brian, there's a lot of buzz about buying a car online, having it dropped off at your house, the convenience of that with used cars. What are your thoughts on that?
I have a few thoughts. There are companies out there that are specializing in that these days. I think in theory it sounds good, and there is a place for it, and we here at the dealership and Anchor Auto Group have adopted some of those practices of doing things at home. We have a buy-at-home service. But I think there's a lot of pitfalls in that. There's been a lot of things that have gone wrong. If you take some time and actually look at some of the reviews out there on some of these Carvanas and Vrooms of the world, you'll see there's some things going wrong, and there's some pretty big horror stories going wrong.
Horror stories is the key word there. I saw people not getting cars with titles, sometimes taking 6 months, sometimes to a year, putting temp tags on cars, and some not so great things happening.
Yeah, those are some of the major infractions that we're seeing. I think what people have to understand or think about is there's a little bit more going on here than going on Amazon and buying a pair of shoes that if it doesn't work out, you could just bring them over to Kohl's and drop them off and you're finished.
Sure.
I mean, you're talking about a major purchase where there's financing involved, there's registration work, entitling work that has to be done, and all of these things have a time frame that they have to be done by. Deeper rooted in that is, what state are these cars coming from? What state is the entity from? What state is governing the actual particulars of the sale?
Mm-hmm.
And then what's going on in the state of the buyer in terms of getting it registered timely, making sure it's insured, and so forth. And then there's a whole host of issues with how is a used vehicle being prepped? Where was it sourced from? Who's preparing it? Who's calling the shots on whether or not this is actually a good car or a bad car? So again, if you you look at some of those reviews and there's not only paperwork problems, there's car quality problems, cars that have been totaled in accidents, cars that have been reported as stolen, haven't ended up in these companies' hands and resold without titles, I might add. This is an automobile purchase, a legal purchase with a lot of contracts and a lot of things that, a lot of moving parts, that if you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know what you're doing in a particular state, you can have some big issues.
Sure, and I know a lot of people, you know, you and I are in the car business, but a lot of people, you know, they're like, oh, this is great, this seems really convenient, I don't want to go into the dealership, I don't want to have to haggle for the car, whatnot.
Right. If you look at their commercials that they put out there, they make it look like going into the big bad car dealership from the 1970s and all of those things that go on. I mean, in reality, the truth of it is there's more transparency in the auto business than just about any business you could think of. The pricing is fully transparent. The transactions are fully transparent. We have more paperwork to protect consumers, probably as much, if not more, than purchasing a home. So there's a lot of protections, and most importantly, the overall protection of where that dealer is operating, in which state, and then the state protections. For instance, you have to be licensed to be an auto dealership in the state of Rhode Island and the state of Massachusetts. In any state that I know of, you need to be licensed. Well, that license is controlled and governed by the state of Rhode Island, the Attorney General's office, and the Dealer Commission. Now, these are people that control customer complaints. So there's a safety net out there, but the state of Rhode Island also has a separate division of the Attorney General's office, and it's the Dealer Commission. And that commission is made up of multiple people whose job it is 100% of the time to govern the licensed dealers, both new and used car dealers in the state of Rhode Island. If there are any issues or complaints or problems, the public can make a direct complaint to that division. They're not going through the big giant Attorney General's office, although the Attorney General's office oversees. There's a separate division just to handle that. So, you know, people in the state of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, they have somewhere to go if things aren't, you know, the way they should be, or they don't think they're the way they should be. And we as dealers have to answer to them. You know, how are we handling online sales? We do a lot of online interactions with customers, but we're finding that most customers, 98% of customers, aren't even completely comfortable transacting the whole transaction completely online and not coming in and getting to see the car first and touch it and feel it and drive it. You know, we'll give them a tour of the dealership, we'll show them our service department, we'll talk about the level of our service technicians, how long they've been here, their level of expertise. So you're buying more than just the car. You're buying the history of the car, you're buying the preparation of the car, you're buying our dealership in terms of being able to be here and stand behind you and stand behind the product that we're selling. In the days of coming into a dealership and spending 4 or 5 hours to buy a car, those days are gone.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is nice, and it's nice for us. We don't like long drawn out transactions any more than the customer does.
Sure. And I don't know about you, but if I'm spending $30,000 or $40,000, especially on a used vehicle, I probably want to take it for a ride or at least get my eyes on it before I make that purchase. Not everybody's like that, but I find that would be something that would interest a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think something that came along years ago that has sort of lulled some people to sleep are these Carfax reports.
Sure.
These auto check history reports, for instance. I think a lot of people and their commercials will tell you, hey, just ask for the Carfax report. Just ask for the report. We've seen many Carfax reports that make a car look good on paper, and then we find through our checks that there's some big problems with it. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't get the Carfax. You absolutely should get a Carfax or any vehicle history report. That can't be the only thing you do. That can't be, this is how we verify whether or not this is a good car, what's on this piece of paper. You know, if you look deep into a Carfax, that third page at the bottom, the disclaimer basically says, all we are is an information gathering company, and this is the information that we've gathered based on what's available at this time, and here's what we found. That doesn't mean that 3 weeks later, an accident that happened 3 months ago all of a sudden pops up and shows up. and there's no protections for that sort of thing. But they also say in their disclaimer that they think it's a good idea that any used vehicle that you would consider buying, you have checked out by an independent service center, mechanic, or so forth. And we support that. We certainly would let any of our vehicles be checked out by anybody off premises. So we like to say the vehicle history report is part of the process, but it is far from the entire process. The level of technician that we have working on these vehicles, being able to recognize body damage, frame damage, previous paint work, all those things are very, very important. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen to a car that may go unreported. So as we roll back to these online companies, we don't have a firm grip on who's actually looking at these cars, who's calling the shots on whether they're good cars, bad cars, where are they being prepared, what facility is preparing them, who's standing behind them. I mean, quite frankly, we have customers come in here to our dealerships with temporary plates on cars, with Carvana plate frames on them that come in that have problems right off the bat. And they're looking for us to help them, and we do the best we can. But there's definitely that disconnect between, okay, who am I buying this car from, and then who do I lean on if there's an issue? And then, as I said earlier, the ultimate who do I lean on if there's a major issue comes down to state laws. And again, and with these companies, what state is governing the transaction? In the meantime, while all this is going on, you have the customer, you have the public who bought a car, and now can they use it? Can they drive it? And there's plenty of stories out there where these cars are sitting in driveways for months on months on months, making payments, and can't use it, can't get to work, have to keep insurance on it. Who's responsible? A lot of finger pointing and not a lot of answers at this point.
Sure. And could you just touch on the benefits? You guys have an entire finance department, obviously, here at the Anchor Auto Group, and people try to do things online, but a lot of times we're trying to register vehicles or just kind of putting your information out there. How do you guys do it differently?
Well, in terms of financing, and that's a biggie as well, because most of these transactions would include some portion of financing. So you're filling out credit applications online. Where are those applications going? Who has access to that information? What banks are they going to? How many credit pulls are happening to you? Who's controlling all of that? Who are you asking those questions of? At the dealership level, we have a separate department that just handles credit applications, handles all the paperwork, handles registrations, all the legalities of getting the transaction done and done correctly. There's only a certain number of people, 2, 3, 4 people, that have access to that information. In terms of doing it online, we have a separate portal, so when somebody goes on our website, fills out a credit application, that goes into a secure, locked portal that goes right into the finance department. Their information isn't privy to anyone else in the dealership.
Sure.
And then from that portal, that information, that application gets dispersed to the bank or banks that we're going to be using. And then once the transaction is going to happen, we can do the transaction via DocuSign. We can do that through email if needed, or we can do it here through DocuSign in person. And again, more often than not, 98% of the time with this type of transaction, most customers are more comfortable coming in, sitting down with the person who has all this information and can answer all of these questions and look at them one-on-one and spend, 35, 40 minutes and just sign all the paperwork and leave with the copies, see the title, know we have the title, see all of the paperwork. We handle all of the registration from that point, so they know everything's going to get done in a timely fashion. And to answer the registration question, we actually register in-house. We are online with the state of Rhode Island registry, and we have our own personnel in-house, so the paperwork never leaves here to get run down to the registry. The paperwork goes from our business manager's office into the office of our registrar, and she handles all the registrations, whether it's a transfer, new plates, whatever the case may be. We handle it all right here. In terms of out-of-state registrations, we do either driving to those states if they're local states. Further states away, we'll use a licensed registry service, which we pay for to handle the transaction for us. But we are still in the middle of the transaction, making sure everything gets done and we have the plates, we have the registration, so forth. I know this, we've been around here as a local family-owned dealership. We're heading for 35, 36 years right now. I don't think you can be around that long and be a viable dealership in a local community if you're doing things that happened in the 1970s, and those things aren't even allowed anymore, again, through all the laws and so forth. So it's just something people need to think about both sides of it, and realize that in the end, they've got a lot of protections going through a dealership. They've got a lot of people they can talk to if things don't go correctly.
So Brian, with the chip shortage and everything that's been going on and low dealership inventory, usually you could come in on a Saturday and just pick out, I want a red one, and drive off. But now there's it's a little bit different. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, in the beginning, it was a shock to everybody. But I think for the most part, people have gotten used to or understand that they're probably not going to come in, find a car that they want, and drive away on the same day. The ordering process, there's a little bit of misconception of what's going on with orders. Let me just say this. Cars are being built. Are they being built at the same rate as they were? Well, heck no. They're probably being built at 30-35% of what normal capacity is. So there are cars coming. And we're operating now from selling vehicles that are on the incoming list. When somebody comes in to order a car, it really isn't a true order where the order's going all the way back to the factory, either in Indiana or in Japan or wherever, and the car is getting built from scratch, and then it's being put on a boat, and it takes 3 months to get here through the channels, and it arrives. I mean, orders are being placed and they're being filled based on cars that are already built and already on the way. There is still some time lag there. There's a 6-week or an 8-week, but it's certainly not a 6-month or an 8-month wait to get cars in. It's not the worst thing in the world for people as long as they've got a little bit of time to deal with. And we've seen a lot of people sort of push up their shopping window. So instead of waiting till the week they need the car and start shopping for it, most customers are just finding their way into the market a little sooner, doing the shopping work or the test driving and so forth ahead of time, and know that they need to wait a little bit to get the vehicle. On the plus side, they're getting exactly what they want and exactly the color they want, and it gets delivered fresh, peel the plastic off, and there's their car. So it's changed the way things have worked, but it's gone pretty smoothly.
Priority Premium is New England's destination for exceptional Highline pre-owned automobiles. Our collection is hand-picked by New England's top automobile experts. With over 100 years of overall experience working with the world's finest brands, we find the best examples of well-maintained, low-mileage, luxury, and exotic vehicles for our inventory. Just go to PriorityPremium.com where you'll see our current selection. Stop dreaming, start driving. Priority Premium.
Today we're here with Maurice Lowman from Kia of Attleboro to tell us about the 2023 Kia Sportage. And Maurice, it's I think the 5th generation?
Yes, 5th generation Sportage.
It's pretty sharp looking and pretty striking to look at. So run us through a couple of the details on it.
We're very excited. The 2023 Kia Sportage is a brand new design. Not only does it have the new logo, but it has a brand new exterior design, interior design, things like a dual panoramic screen on the inside that goes across the entire dashboard. That's brand new for Kia. The implementation of off-road trims is very exciting. 2-tone paint jobs available. But once again, just to touch on the fact, it's a bigger and more capable vehicle than previous generations. So we're very excited about that.
Nice. I really like the headlight design too. It's pretty neat.
That goes to stay with Kia's tiger eye style that they like to talk about a lot, and it looks good from all angles, from the front and from the side, and it screams quality to me.
Yeah, it's very unique. It's very different than a lot of vehicles on the road, especially in such a competitive class. I think it's something that's definitely set the Kia brand apart. Can you tell us a little about the new Kia symbol? I had somebody ask me the other day, they're like, what's the KN?
My interpretation of it is it's where the brand wants to go to show people that the brand is growing and they are moving towards the future. Kia is not naive to the fact that they weren't always in the conversation about quality, style, performance. It took them a while to build that reputation. Now, not only are they in that conversation, but they're pulling customers from other brands that never considered this brand before. So it's exciting. I love the new logo. I've only heard a little bit of negative feedback about it, and it was just someone that couldn't decipher it. But I don't think they had the style in mind. Not only does the vehicle look great, it rides great, it's quiet, it's smooth, it looks awesome, and it comes with all of the safety features that you would come to expect in a luxury SUV, and it truly does scream luxury when you go to the top specs that are offered in the Kia Sportage. Things that you would never expect to find in a Kia, things like a heated steering wheel and ventilated seats and a 360 camera with surround view monitor and advanced safety features that actually brake the vehicle when you're in an emergency situation. Those are things that you used to only find in the very high-end brands.
Right.
So to have them in our vehicles is a very exciting time. And we're always very proud of the fact that we have the best-in-class warranty. It is one of the #1 reasons why the brand has experienced so much growth, and that people do turn to the brand and think reliability, dependability. That 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty the brand has become known for.
So now, Maurice, let's take a look at the interior on the new 2023 Kia Sportage.
As you can see right away, this is what I was speaking about. This is brand new for Kia. It's called the dual panoramic screen. It goes across the entire dashboard, giving the driver a luxury feel. It's a complete hands-free environment where you can utilize smartphone apps on your touchscreen, or you could use the factory navigation. And everything is set up for it to be a hands-free driving experience. The Napa leather, which has been introduced on the Prestige models, has been very, very popular. I can tell that this vehicle, with the heated steering wheel and ventilated seats, it is a Prestige model, wireless phone charging, and just safety features galore just make this vehicle a segment leader. And this is the first time that Kia has offered a vehicle with true off-road capabilities. This vehicle is the only vehicle in its class that gives you off-road tires from the factory to give it more capability for anybody that lives that active lifestyle and wants to take the vehicle over any type of rough or rugged terrain. With the all-wheel drive standard, the different drive mode selects, and the ability to lock the four-wheel drive, and then with the suspension upgrades, the vehicle does have true off-road capability. One very, very cool feature is the predictive view cameras that show where all four wheels are headed at all times. You could truly, truly be off-road and have the peace of mind that you are safe and capable at any distance and any speed. The entry-level LX comes standard with things that you just don't find in other vehicles, so you'll always get the 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, plenty of pep in that vehicle. It even has a sport mode available. It's an 8-speed automatic transmission and 17-inch standard wheels. And as you step up the trim level line, those wheels get larger and more attractive. Even just going with the SX, you do get an upgraded sound system, upgraded safety features. The SX Prestige is just a couple of more boxes being checked off. You get ventilated seats, a heated steering wheel, and a 360-degree surround view monitor that a lot of folks are very pleased with.
Well, Maurice, thanks for coming in and telling us about the new Kia Sportage. We look forward to having you back to talk about some new Kia models.
Thank you so much for having me. Always a blast talking about the Kia brand.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
So that's our show for today. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.